Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Blue Hour Podcast, where we explore the minds and the worlds of visionary artists and creators. This week's guest is Jordan Tremblay, and his story is very inspiring because he comes from a world of fashion and beauty, and he shifted over the last few years through the pandemic into following his heart's calling, and now he's studying Ayurveda, which is the ancient science of holistic health and living. So we're going to get a lot of insights inside the mind of someone who follows his calling to explore ancient wisdom. I think you're going to find this very inspiring. And on another note, we have a retreat coming in Spain at the end of the month, so June 30th to July 7th. And the whole theme is about this special placement in the sky of Mars in Aries, which is all about being your authentic self and leading by example and inspiring others. So it's very connected also with our guest this week. If you want more details about that, there's a few spots left. You can go on the rosenbra.com/retreats and you'll have all the details about that. So let's get right in. So thank you, Jordan, for meeting me today. Jordan is a friend we met actually in the first retreat I organized 2 years ago. And his path is very fascinating. I think there's a lot of synchronicities between both our lives, how they kind of, I don't know, like they felt like the timing was right in many circumstances. And in that retreat, my first retreat also. So welcome, and I'm excited to talk about your journey and what you're doing now. So
thank you, Alex. Thank you for inviting me.
Welcome. I think maybe we can start by describing the context in which we met. So, I mean, we have always, I knew who you were from a long time ago, but we met in what was the city, like in a random town up north.
Yeah, I think it was Latsuk.
Latsuk.
Yeah.
And we had just a retreat that lasted 3-4 days where I was teaching like art therapy and different rituals, but basically everything connected with nature as well and with astrology, the astrological events.
Yeah.
So maybe you can just describe where you were at your life back then, how that impacted the...
Yeah, sure. Well, it was COVID, so not COVID. I mean, it was after COVID. Yeah. So we were like, I was just not working in the moment, doing a lot of teaching classes. I was doing some, I did our first Ayurvedic class, and it led me to, expand my hobbies, my interests about anything related to nature. It was nature at first. I remember back in 2020, I was like, I need to expand. I need to do more than just the physical stuff. My background is from marketing and fashion and design. So at the turning point of my 30s, I was like, okay, I don't think it's for me anymore. I was asking a lot of myself questions. So I was following you on Instagram. I really like your art. So when you released this retreat, I was like, I'm gonna do it. It's the first thing I did for myself. I didn't question if I don't know anyone or if I. So I just registered, and I feel like we had an amazing 3 days with amazing people that we met through this.
Yeah, like everyone that was at it was a small one, but we all are still like connected. And it's funny, like it felt like even Sam that organizes the market we go after, like his journey started there as well. Like now he's doing Cambo retreats and different things.
Oh wow.
Karine is now a vlogger that talks about her spiritual journey around the world.
Okay.
And Leah, she's organizing more retreats like that at the place where we were.
Okay, so we all took this
direction. Was the beginning, and for me it was the beginning too, because it was my first retreat, and now like Rosenbra is like my new project, which will be organizing retreats soon as well. So for all of us, it was like the beginning of something bigger.
That's amazing.
So that's why I found it interesting to connect with you today, like, because it felt like the little team or little family we built that back then is still
ongoing. Like we kept in touch since 2 years. And
Yeah, I feel like we were so young but curious, you know, and
Yeah.
since then everything's.
yeah, exactly. A bit naive. Like for me too, I organized this retreat. Like I had something in me that just wanted to do it. I didn't question it too much. I got the opportunity to organize one because
Yeah.
Leah, who had the space, was like, I like your art.
Mhm.
You can come for a few days in exchange for art. So I'm like, oh, so I would have this space, a big cabin
Mhm.
for 3-4 days against this artwork. Yeah.
Yeah,
let's
you,
do
you
it.
like didn't have the full puzzle, but you have some pieces and you just went for it. And I feel
Yeah.
like it ended up by something amazing.
And yeah, like that's what opened up this sense in me, like, oh, I can lead these types of events.
Mhm.
I can organize them in 2 weeks. I can make sure everything is set up, like I have enough. It kind of empowered me to where I am now with Rosenberg and everything. And it feels like in your life too, there's something that was triggered in that moment, like
Mhm.
of going there.
100%.
So maybe you can talk about that too.
Yeah, well, like I said earlier, I didn't have much knowledge into anything related to art, spirituality, even like yoga. But I had one time a consultation with Ayurvedic practitioner, and this woman completely changed my perspective about how I feel with my body, but also like my thoughts and what I eat. And there, you know, I realized that I was not aligned with my body. I didn't know, like I was eating unconsciously, you know.
Okay.
And this woman completely opened up about she opened my eyes about how I should, like, you know, basic things like thought, food. So and that led me to your retreat. But then I kept going about researching about Ayurveda, and I found this school in Montreal it's Académie Québécoise d'Ayurveda, which is the first French Ayurvedic school in Canada. And I decided to just join the program. So it's a 3 years program. It's consultation, but also practitioner. So I will be doing like therapy, like mesotherapy, and nutritionist, basically.
Oh,
In order to be able to do Panchakarma, which is like a 21-day retreat in Ayurveda. So
so to be able to offer it
Yeah.
to people.
yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna do this full time. I just have this calling of going all in it. At first I was scared because it's something that is very far from me, but I just connected with it so much that like I need to go for it.
And that's what I think is interesting, is like how our path collide, but also where we're going now is, and I think that's what's interesting to share too, is like sometimes you don't really know what your soul is bringing you to do in this lifetime. What's your purpose? Like so many of us, we just do stuff just to do stuff, and questioning it would mean like reevaluating all our life and having to change everything. But sometimes like these events or these stuff are just shown to us. Like I got the opportunity to have this space. You got the opportunity to go to this retreat very spontaneously. And sometimes you feel the calling, and it's not a big commitment. Like it's 3-4 days. For me, it took a few weeks to prepare. And the fact that you, instead of being like, it's not possible, 2 weeks to organize a retreat, only possible for you, well, same thing. But the fact that you don't know but you feel it, because I think that's how spirit communicates to us, is through our passions. The passion being like the fire element. The fire element is what like almost tickles your will and makes you want to like take action in something, sign up for a retreat, organize a retreat. And that's for me like what's so interesting about being an example of that, you know. You're an example of that, of just letting this desire that feels aligned with something bigger and going for it without knowing where it's going to lead.
Exactly, and it's terrifying sometimes.
It's terrifying, but it feels like everything's terrifying in the world right now, so why not, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, like, and now I think your new project, we've discussed it a bit earlier, it's it's Ayurveda, so like another
Yeah.
step for you too, right? Like,
Exactly, and it's such a, for the one who are not familiar, it's the balance between what you eat, the mind, the people that you surround yourself with, movement, your sleep. So it's balance. We all want balance. So I feel like Ayurveda it's a great, it's an amazing like holistic approach to it.
yeah, like for me too, I just started like a course in Ayurveda. Like there is the more physical things, the herbs, the potions, all the nutrients, but Ayurveda is the balance also of the mind, body, spirit, and like you say, it's a holistic way of living, connected with your body, like
Exactly.
your nutrition, and yeah, like maybe what in Ayurveda you've been studying it for a year now, full time.
So pretty much full time. So it's 3 years, I would say. It's like a university program. So we have I do the double program, so it's consultation and practitioner. So it's like therapy with oil. So like medicine oil. So because Ayurveda, it's not like the classic massage I can receive. It's 50% of the technique, but also the 50% of the oil. So it's a specific oil for your balance on your.
And you would put it in specific place. How does it work?
I mean, it depends, but it's called Abhyanga. So it's you can be a full body massage. You could do only for the head. You could do specific to if you have pain on your shoulders or back. It could be specific. Some people that have a dosha kapha, well, it's gonna be like with dry powder instead of oil. So it's specific to each individual. So that's why Ayurveda is fantastic, because it's adapting to your unicity.
Yeah, and that must be like, I'm sure, like you're also Gemini in your astrological rising sign like me. So like there is some, I feel like connections once you study the body, how to treat it. There is so much connection also with the outer world, because you're treating the body and the inner world of people. But I feel like the same way like kapha is like earth, is like, but oil I think is also pitta. Is that right? Like fire produces this oil on the skin.
Yeah, so they have more like oily skin, like kapha.
Yeah.
Vata, it's more dry. So those are the ones that loves massage, because it's their skin, like they will resuck the oil.
So earth people are dry, or Vata.
Vata is more dry. Yeah, Vata is air and movement and space. Kapha it's water and earth. So
there's another name for both.
Kapha and Kapha is the same thing.
Okay.
It's the way to pronounce it. Yeah.
Okay.
Kapha, Pitta, and Vata. Those are the three doshas.
And what's like in 1 year you must learn so much things, but what is something that kind of stands out? Like something that was like felt like it was a key for your own path.
Oh, it's there's no quick fix for your health. There's no quick fix. We're used to live in this world where we can get everything that we want right now. It could be like object, physical stuff, but also health. And Ayurveda, it's not a trend. It's been there for 5,000 years.
Yeah.
It's not a trend. It's not a new diet or a new supplement. It's been there forever. It's timeless. And it's unique to every single person on this planet, every single human. Like, we all have fingerprints, right? They're all unique, and it's what Ayurveda is about, is finding your unique. And it takes time. Like I said, there's no quick fix. So you need to try things, you need to change your diet, you need to adapt and be aware of how it responds in you.
Yeah.
And this is, I think that's what defines Ayurveda the most, and that's what I want to work around, find.
And in this sense, like meditation must be very important.
Yeah.
Because if you're not able to be present with the sensation of your body, so you might do some remedy for like 6 months, and it's doing something, but you can't notice it because
Exactly.
it's subtle.
Mhm.
So you need like this mindfulness and this subtle presence to be able to target it and
Yeah,
feel these subtle changes, right?
exactly. And like you said, meditation it's a key part of the Ayurvedic like pranayamas. Depending on your dosha, there's different breathing technique that can work best for you.
Do they teach that at the school also?
Yeah,
They teach that.
yeah.
Ah.
Yoga as well. Some different asanas depends on.
Mhm.
So there's a yoga specific for you, a yoga specific for me.
So in the 3 years, you're gonna learn all of that.
Yeah, it's a very
So
like
cool.
it's a complete program. So you got all the. Mhm.
So did you learn that?
Do you want to start? Are you like?
I'm Pitta. Well, because I have Mars in my first house,
Mhm.
and my first house is in Gemini, so I'm like, technically, I think the Mars takes over, so I'm Pitta Vata
Mhm.
because of
Yeah.
that. So what would be like good pranayama exercise for me?
So Pitta is, they tend to be hard worker, very competitive. They want to achieve they have this drive, so they need to take a step back and reconnect to themselves. So Pitta, well, I'm not sure. I would say the square breathing. I don't know in Sanskrit, but it's it's 4 second inspiration, 4 second hold, 4 second.
So for like
Yeah,
stability,
it's the square panorama. Yeah.
but it would bring like a sense of stability also.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Of like, I guess, connection with the body. And
Exactly. It's a slow cycle, equal. So.
It's true. It's funny because today is the new moon in Scorpio. In Vedic, it's Scorpio. We're still in Scorpio. But the new moon in Scorpio, and so I do write my intentions every new moon to like set the tone for my month unconsciously, and that was one of the things.
Slow down.
To slow down, but not necessarily slow down, but to connect with the body. Because I think my particular intuition, or we can say like communication with my higher self, happens through my body. So like, let's say I ask something. So that's something I learned I developed with, it's like my own language that you develop that's intuitive to you. I will ask something to my unconscious that I want to know, and then just close my eyes and become passive. Some people, like if you refine it enough, you can hear voices, you can have a knowing, can have images, but somehow in the past anyways, I've had sensations in my body.
Okay.
And when I go there with my mental cursor, something happens, like it can be an image or something, and this kind of
it guides you.
Like a dialogue guides me to the answer that needs to be understood or seen. And often because probably of that Mars energy that wants to do things, I forget to pay attention about my body and what I'm feeling inside.
Right.
And that was a big thing for me in the past too, with like emotions,
Okay.
because emotions need to be there in the present to feel them.
So when you feel, is it because you feel you're lacking of, like you said, you need to like slow down to be able to point out where you what can I say? Like, for example, like you close your eyes, you breathe, and you slow down, and then you're able to like pinpoint where there's a specific.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I would feel it, but your body is there's so much things happening that you're not aware of until you put yourself on pause, and then you go with your mind and you scan your body to explore what's going on. And that's kind of like what I need to be doing more, because I feel like this is a tool that with time also can be developed.
Yeah.
And then you pick it up while you're walking somewhere. You don't have to slow down anymore. It's talking to you.
Well, I'm sure I can find some good panoramas for you.
Yeah, I would be curious about that. Like, for me, but also to understand how it works.
Yeah.
But yeah, it makes sense that you would want to like regulate your breath to slow down your energy.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, like I know we discussed before I came, was last week or something like that, that you had a bit of uncertainty. Like I don't know if it brings you anxiety, not knowing like you started this course, you're not really sure like why you're doing it, what it's gonna lead to. But like you have some concerns, correct?
Yeah, well, you know, I come from this background of, you know, the retail fashion, so I'm like, I come from far to Ayurveda, you know.
Yeah.
If you would have asked myself, if you would have asked me 10 years ago, where do you see yourself in 10 years? I mean, I would never in my life thought of me being here with you right now talking about Ayurveda, you know, but
Yeah.
I think that's fascinating, but also I don't have any kind of, I feel like I'm on my own, you know, for the first time. I'm not influenced by friends or family or, you know, my environment. Everything comes within me, and from what I'm learning through Ayurveda. So sometimes, yeah, it can be very like lonely, not lonely negatively, but like I don't have repair. So,
Yeah.
So
Because usually we're used to rely on like people confirming that we're on the right path.
Yeah, like small
Validation.
confirmation here and there. That like,
Yeah.
but here I'm like, even like when my friends ask me, "What are you doing? Like, what are you studying?" I'm like, I know I can explain them, but if it doesn't resonate with them, then they
Yeah.
can't understand.
Yeah.
So when they don't understand, they can't help me or they can't align me. Like, so those uncertainty are not that I doubt myself, but it's more like little fears
Yeah.
that are slowing me instead of like uplifting me. But I guess it's a work in progress, and it's my first year is finishing in January. So
And yeah, I mean that's why I'm asking you, because I feel it's important to mention these things. Like if if you're watching this and you're gonna start your own journey and you feel like it's a scary thing to take a risk into the unknown, try something that people don't necessarily relate to, but you feel like you need to evolve. Like
Exactly.
I really think since the pandemic specifically, like a lot of people have, it's like the physical world is being destroyed, like literally around us.
yeah,
So like
nothing
people
makes
feel
sense. Like
nothing makes sense. So people feel the urge, okay, well, if I'm gonna lose everything, even with the rents going up, like if I'm gonna lose it, what can I do that will at least make me feel fulfilled? Like I came to this world for something, and like I have a purpose.
Yeah.
And so people start to want to take risks, but sometimes it's scary. But like you are a good example of someone that just did it and did experience this, but you're still in it.
Yeah.
So showcasing how like I'm sure like this new knowledge like in Ayurveda must make you feel more alive, like it's like a key that you're opening up to a portal that is like so rich, and that your soul is just like
it's infinite. I feel like you're never done learning, and I will still learn in 30 years, and I feel like I'll just become a better person, a better human, a better friend, a better you know.
Yeah.
I will become.
And I think more than that, you're gonna just be able to help people become better friends.
100%. Yeah.
Like it's gonna have like such a big ripple effect that probably if you had doubted yourself, well, you probably have. We all have these little doubts, but if you had never taken action and doing it, you would always wonder, what was this calling?
I would still do something expected by the society or by my past or my, you know, I would still do something from things that I know that make me feel safe, but not fulfilled. So.
And what advice would you give like someone that's like you a few years ago that feels something needs to change in their lives because they're not satisfied? What's something you did to like help you take action and like do this move?
I feel like if you do something impulsively, it's probably not the best thing for you.
Okay.
Yeah, because I feel like when you don't let yourself the room to think and sit down with a thought and analyze it, it just leads to something that it's impulsive that comes from your environment. So it could be a friend, it could be an ad, it could be your Instagram post, you know.
My tensions are unresolved that just pull in their
Yeah.
direction. So you either let go and go in that direction or go the opposite direction.
Exactly.
It's not like center.
And I feel like all my previous decisions that I've made were not based on my reflection. And you know, before starting Ayurveda, it took me 2 years of reflection. I was like, I can't do this. Like, this is not me. Like, but what is me? You know,
Yeah.
what is me?
Is there a practice you had at that time that helped you detach yourself from the me?
I think it was like, it's gonna sound, it were just failures, a bunch of failures after failures. I was like, okay, well, now I'm just gonna do something that it's completely not what I want. It's like doing something completely new, being a new person,
Okay.
you know?
And that's where
Yeah.
that impulsive.
Yeah,
stuff
it's
is just like,
okay.
just
Yeah,
do something
exactly.
that is unconventional, just to.
And it comes from like, also like, you know, suffering and mistakes and traumas,
Yeah.
you know? Sometimes you do something not because it's what you want, but it's what you need. Ayurveda, it's this. At the end of the day, it's not. When you ask yourself, people always ask themselves, "Oh, what do I want to eat tonight?" It's not what you want to eat; it's about what you need to eat.
Yeah.
So I feel like Ayurveda is the same thing for me.
Yeah.
I mean, you still need to have fun and enjoy your food, but what I mean is like be more conscious about little decisions like what you eat.
Yeah, definitely. And now, like you did the move, you changed. I'm pretty sure, like you said, like because you do something that is so different than what your family and old friends used to understand that you could relate with. Did that create like a isolation, or do you still see all those friend groups? Or how does
I don't think it's isolation, but more like a detachment. A detachment of my past and the known of Jordan, of me.
But you detach from like the judgment of people.
Yes.
So like the person they used to know, you don't care anymore if they think whatever they think. Like
no.
Okay.
It took a few years, but here I am now.
And like, do you still see some of those friends?
Yeah.
And I'm sure now, like that's the thing. Some people go away because you don't relate, but some people see that you're passionate about what you're doing.
Yeah.
And that inspires them, so they want to stay close
Exactly.
to you.
Yeah, I guess all the range of, you know, obviously like I don't drink anymore, so obviously like all the alcohol bring this social aspect that I kind of like, so obviously like those friends are not there anymore. Just because, you know, we all, it's like when someone moves for a job, you know, your life brings you somewhere else that it's not necessarily yet.
Yeah.
You can keep with all your past, so I guess Ayurveda made it more drastic. But much needed, so I'm happy.
And now, so now we're in the middle of winter. Like you're continuing this study.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's not as bad as other winters because with the COVID we had like lockdowns and stuff like that. But I do sense that like sometimes being on your path is scary because you're alone. But this is the reason why this podcast I think will be valuable to a lot of people that will watch it, that will feel isolated, to know them. And I do feel that's the future, you know. It's everyone on their own individual path, but connected because they're on their individual path.
Right.
Because as before, there was like the collective path, the governmental path, you know, the narrow pathways of the job that you're taught in school that are available to be learned. And the future, what I'm sensing for the future is the equivalent. I use this example a lot because I think it's very valuable and it's connected with the body too. Like all the cells of the body have a specific task to do, but because they do their specific task, it helps all the other do their own specific task as well, and it becomes this harmonious ecosystem. And you're gonna do your own unique path that no one did before. You're learning Ayurveda, you've got some assets from your past, and
Right.
you have more to come. And from your chart, I saw you there will be an infusion of your intuitive insights that you will add to the practice of Ayurveda that will make it your own.
Yeah, that's
And
fine.
you will help specific people that need exactly what you offer. And these people hopefully will be inspired to study their own specific thing that will help specific people.
Yeah.
And all together, if we follow our soul's purpose, it just becomes a spiritually alive place where we're all interconnected through our nuances. You know,
Yeah.
not because of what society tells us. Like if you dress differently, if you like certain things, like we're used to identify ourselves by our desires. This is all my desires, and this is how they kind of affect me physically. That's why I'm different.
Yeah.
My interests, but like I think in action, having our own unique path, that is more. It feels more healthy and holistic in that way.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like you can only rely on yourself, but also when you're after relying on yourself, this is where you have the best version of yourself and where you connect with people. That's why we're reconnected.
Like we connected at that art retreat.
Yeah.
And somehow like seeing your chart too, we're born on the same year, which makes like we have planets in exactly the same spot, being Gemini rising. We have similar tools, or you know, in our, if you look at your zodiacal chart, you have something that is enhanced and some that is more challenging, and we have similar challenges and assets in our charts, which makes that spiritually, energetically, we resonate with our aura almost resonates on the same frequency in many ways, which means we can inspire each other on our path.
Exactly, and see what you do. Just make me want to, grow my own thing, and then maybe connect at some point.
Both ways, and I'm sure that's why I love these. Even these interviews, not even interviews, these podcasts, because discussion, it kind of it brings forth, because for me, like choosing the guests and everything is very intuitive too, and I pick them because I think there's a value, and because like I think why I thought this would be so valuable is I'm sure that what you're learning now versus what I'm learning and have learned before, eventually we'll be able to help each other out somehow, like on our path to basically help others. Like the goal is always how can we have an impact around us.
Yeah, and I'm curious about if we do this 2 years from now.
Yeah, in your new chapter.
Yeah, and the growth of both of us, in our.
Yeah, I think with Rose Umbra, like there will definitely. That's what makes me. I love one-on-one sessions because you can get all the nuances of someone, but even more than that, I like like you said, the retreats.
Right.
Like I like creating experiences, integrating holistic foods, like introducing conscious living with connecting with what's in the sky. So like at our retreat, we had it was the end of Leo season, and we were coming into end of Cancer and going into Leo, so the end of the summer.
Yeah.
Then I had aligned all the activities with these energies, and eventually, like, imagine this on a year. So like now it becomes about the season. We do different activities in the season, and slowly but surely we're reconnecting with the cycles of nature. And these retreats are ways to do that.
Yeah.
So that like intellectually you learn stuff. One-on-one virtually I'm doing these consults, but like physically then it's like, okay, now we're doing the real work actively, and over time, that's how you grow. It's over time. It's one session, but when you're alone and you finish the session, sometimes it's hard to do the things that we discuss and like
exactly, and you get fed by the community and all the people that are part of a retreat, for example. You know, like they're participants. They come back home with full of they feel empowered, and like they have tools for the what's next. But you as well.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, like I'm sensing it more and more how. Like I don't follow any particular path. I follow whatever feels right, and that's why the retreat, when I organized this, it was like I had never been to any retreats before. I didn't know what a retreat looked like.
Well, you did great.
So it was very organic and yeah, like I like the more the tools that are more ancient because often they have done the test of time.
Yeah.
So like ritual works, like
Yeah, we did some fun ceremony there.
ceremony. But like now it was so short, so we learned, like I taught it to you guys, we did it once or twice. And imagine like seeing the progress if we're doing it every night and it's connected with what's in the stars at that moment, and then you introduce like the foods that accompany you to rebalance yourself. Always, like all the rituals I showed you guys was to rebalance in the heart. What does the food do? It rebalances you in your sun, in who you really are at the soul level, so that you can get those insights that are aligned and are not like out of like unbalance, compensation. I'm doing this to compensate for something I don't have, and then the diet brings it back, the rituals brings it back, and nature, grounding yourself, walking on earth. So yeah, I'm that's coming for sure, and I'm sure we will get to collaborate on a project like that.
I believe that.
Because the thing is, it takes patience. Like what you're doing, three years of studying intensively, and then you become like very specialized. And well, I guess Ayurveda you can learn for all your life.
Oh yeah, after like you can have your own. You know, my goal with this full program is to honor this ancient medicine that's been there forever, and I feel like in this modern world, everyone is like taking from it without giving the credit. You know, they would take something and make a product out of it, but there's no reference. You know, it's basically Ayurveda, but you just take whatever
branding.
Yeah, and I feel like it's not the right way to do it. So that's why I'm doing the real
thing.
3 years learning about the history of it, honoring this powerful wisdom from India, you know.
So necessary. Like I think we are transitioning in different big eras of humanity, and I feel like this ancient wisdom has been kept alive for a reason.
Yeah.
Like it's more alive in the East, obviously, but I feel like the age of Aquarius is the age of like etheric energy, like where every the past, the present, the future, they kind of blend together. So like Ayurveda, imagine Ayurveda with like new technologies blended together. Like the same way like we have some apps now that for astrology.
Yeah.
Some of them like they get pretty good insights. Imagine like with Ayurveda, with the new science and blending both. Like
yeah, I'm surprised how technology can bring Ayurveda to this Western world. Like I'm sure like
AI and Ayurveda.
Yeah.
Probably there's someone that must have thought of that.
Yeah, I am curious, but like I've tried ChatGPT and it's pretty good actually. You can get some nice informations, and obviously it's not like a one-on-one consultation, but it's still pretty good.
Yeah, but imagine you just feed AI with the best books of Ayurveda, like the best teachers, and then they just scan through all the pages of the books.
Yeah,
know it by heart.
Most of the books they were Ayurveda. It's like it was given by word, by mouth. Like there was nothing written. They wanted to keep it, you know,
sacred,
and when they started writing it down, because it's obviously easier to give from generation to generation. This is where the colonization of India by the English people. So they thought they were magicians or the witches and stuff. So they burned all the books. They destroyed all the schools. So that's why maybe Ayurveda was kind of like pushed away or erased through the years.
Yeah.
But now it's coming back. But here again, it's
because of the colonizations.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's because of learning that.
But also like I've heard like the I don't know who, but the Rockefeller like societies, whatever you want to call them, organization that invented the modern medicine. It used to be petroleum based, and they made like in this hemisphere, the Western hemisphere, everything that was plant-based became like alternative medicine, and then what was the new medicine became the primary one, and the other one was suppressed, and like a lot of ingredients are not even like accepted by them and illegal. And
a lot of the modern medicine comes from plants, right? So they should work together, not against each other. I feel like it's
but that's what I'm seeing coming back, like hopefully like without too much tension.
As it should be.
Ayurveda has its place.
Well, any indigenous medicine, you know, we're even here in North America, there was indigenous plants and medicine. So Ayurveda is the one that I'm studying, but there's like Chinese medicine is amazing as well.
That's true. Maybe to end the podcast, if you have anything you wished I had asked you, or any advice or insights for the people watching, like something that resonates deeply in your heart that you wish to share.
I feel like we tend to go super drastic and like, you know, life change, like, oh, it's New Year, I'm gonna like cut alcohol and just do a big diet. Just like go slow and take the time to notice change in your body. You know, I think Ayurveda, it's very simple. It's complex but very simple. It's about knowing who you are and understanding your body. So in order to do that, you need to go slow, you know, and try things. And obviously, maybe read about Ayurveda a bit. Try to like do your dosha quiz, which are you more Vata, Pitta, or Kapha, and then after you can look it up on the internet. And I feel like
it's a good entry point.
But go slow. Don't be too hard on yourself. It's just about trying stuff, and there's no quick fix. There's no quick fix. Don't expect to be healed or have an amazing digestion in a month. I mean, you can have result in a month, but you're never gonna be,
optimal health. Whatever. Depends also where if you're in chronic pain.
Exactly. Yeah, there's different level of pathology.
And I think that's a good point, because it is the science of nature, and we are nature, right? Our physical is made of the same things, of minerals. It's the same thing as Earth.
The 5 elements. We are the 5 elements. The fruits is 5 elements. So.
And if you look at a plant, before it has fruits, it takes years and years. The same thing with our body, depending what's the unbalance. And we talked about at the beginning, we're expecting results quick, because medicine usually takes something and it just put a plaster on it that slowly rips out, and then you have to take another plaster, while Ayurveda fixes it for real on the long term, either by having a psychosomatic or a somatopsychic effect, like on the mind. So it's the real shit.
I mean, just try things, be curious, and adapt, I guess. That's how life should be.
And once you have your degree, or even now, you should try to start giving advice.
I need to. I mean, it's kind of intimidating, you know, starting doing consultation, but I feel like I should.
Like do it with friends. You're probably already doing that.
Here and there.
Dabble with it. That's what I started with Rosenbrough, doing astrology for my friends. And slowly you build confidence that you.
But you're good at it. You just go for it, and you know. But like you said, like action means lead to, you know, feedback and growth.
Exactly. So. You learn a lot faster by action.
Right. Yeah, because when you're in your book, you're just like, you know, you learn, but it's not tangible. It's still concepts and stuff. So.
So thank you so much.
Thank you for inviting me.
Thanks for watching. We'll work together, I'm sure, someday.
We'll see each other again, I'm pretty sure.
Thanks you guys for watching, and I hope you guys enjoyed this episode and got some value out of it. Feel free to go see the website if you have any questions and you want to contact me for the retreat or anything like that. Also, I love reading your comments. Tell me what you want to see in the next episodes. We have a lot of special guests coming in the season 2 that we're filming right now. I'm excited to share what's to come in the future, and I'll see you on the next new moon.